Let's talk about one of the easiest ways there is to stay consistent when it comes to weight loss, and that is knowing how to build what I call a component bowl. My name is Chelsea and I'm in my kitchen, which doesn't have a ton of light, and the light is all fading, but we're gonna make do because I wanna show you what I'm making for dinner tonight in a roaring hurry. But more importantly, I wanna share with you a 4-step framework that I use for every single meal that I make that has allowed me to lose 40 pounds and now keep that off for the past 6 years. This is after struggling with my weight for at least a decade, always going on to some kind of fad diet on a Monday, thinking that something was broken and wrong with my metabolism, and always eating teeny tiny portions that left me binging. And component bowls are my go-to when it comes to weight loss because they're very quick. I can normally make up a component bowl in about 10 to 20 minutes. And this framework that I'm going to show you is something that I use for all my meals, but especially when I'm just assembling different things. And I use the same framework whether I'm making tacos or mac and cheese or a salad or a lasagna or literally anything. So it is very applicable. It is the weight loss secret. And another thing I love about component bowls is they are super customizable. So if you are a busy mom like me and your kids are fussy, then having something that you can make for the entire family that you can then customize to different people's preferences is very, very helpful. But before we get into the formula, it's really important to understand exactly how weight loss actually works. And so weight loss only works by getting you into a calorie deficit. Any diet that you've ever done, any program that you've ever done works on this concept, and that is that you must eat less calories than you burn in order to just eat away at those stored fat cells. So it doesn't matter what you call your diet, if it works, it uses this mechanism, and if it doesn't, then you haven't gotten into a calorie deficit. So that is literally just physics. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. So everything that I'm going to show you with this framework is really just there to help you get into a calorie deficit, while also not meaning that you have to reduce the portion sizes of your food. You actually want to eat more food, and so the meal that I'm going to make is going to be big because that's going to help you to feel full and satisfied, reduce binging, reduce cravings, which is going to up your consistency while lowering your calories, which is the perfect combination when it comes to sustainable results because you actually want to keep doing it. Amazing, I know.
So cool.
Okay, so let's talk about the STACK framework. STACK stands for S, starch, which will be potatoes, rice, pasta, any kind of whole food carbohydrate source. T for tons of veggies. A for add protein, which could be legumes, it could be tofu, it could be edamame. C for control fats, which means that you want to have a small amount of fats, which could be an avocado, it could be a little bit of tahini, it could be some nuts or seeds, but we just want to have a very small amount. And then K is for kick up the flavor, so we want to make it taste really good. And if you've followed me for a while, you've probably heard the HATS framework that I've been using. This I think is a better framework because it does have that protein element. I've somewhat changed my views when it comes to protein consumption. I still think it's not super necessary to obsess about while you're trying to lose weight, but you don't need to go overboard with it. So this is an updated framework that I think you will find very helpful. And then we always want to have greens as a bonus, but they're not going to add to your veggies because they're just pretty much there for bulk and micronutrients. They're not going to add any fullness to your meals. So that's the framework. Now let's throw it all together and I'm going to show you what's in my fridge. I have no idea what I'm actually going to make up right now, for reals. But let's start with our starchy component because that's the S, and see what we have. Okay, so I have some potatoes here, which I think would be probably good to use. So I'm going to grab these, and I think with everything I have, I could use beans or anything like that for my protein source, but I think tofu or potatoes sounds good. Did you just go out that tiny little window?
Maybe.
That's crazy. I could have also gone in with some frozen rice, but I like the idea of the potatoes for now. Let's just see whatever I have when it comes to veggies. I think I'm going to use this, some tofu for my add protein, tons of veggie. Here we go. Okay, let's add this, some greens, tomatoes, salad, maybe some onion. I'm just going to use a big tomato. And there's some broccoli. Okay, let's microwave these. Literally just going to prick them and then put them in the microwave. Just cook up some tofu. Onion powder. Nooch. Vegeta. potatoes are cooking and the potato setting only did 4 minutes. Definitely is not going to be anywhere near enough. So I just turned it around, like flipped it over, put it on again, and I'm just going to keep doing that until the russets are like soft. Same with my tofu. I just give it a little every few minutes, and then I'm going to prep my other stuff ready to go. Change my mind, I do want cherry tomatoes. Okay, so I'm also going to cut up a mango because my kids might like that with it, and an avocado. Yeah. So my potatoes are ready, and you can see that they're like squishy, and I can tell that like this passes the squish test, so we're going to use these. It took about like 12 minutes in total for 2 potatoes. These bits not good. Okay, so I have all my food assembled, and I'm going to get the kids to come and make their own salad bowls, and then I'm going to stack it all together and show you the framework. So I've also got some different types of dressing here, and so what I like to do for a dressing, because we obviously kick up the flavor is one of the things that we need to do. We've got some like different peppery type things, banana pepper rings. I've got like this green goddess dressing to choose from, but my favorite, which I think I will use, is this spicy almond chipotle dressing. I'm going to cut up a little bit of onion, but also have a little bit of like leftover cucumber, and then this kind of like vegan teriyaki beef and some cauliflower. So I might add a little bit of this into my bowl as well, or I could add some after, because it's not going to be as pretty for YouTube, of course, but the kids are going to make theirs. Let's do this.
Why I want to have these onions, because we don't like the other onions.
Okay, is it like fried onions? Oh my gosh.
And really crispy. The only onions I have ever liked.
Okay, tofu, cabbage, potato.
And some lettuce, potato, tomatoes. There's something sweet, avocado on my lettuce. What dressing will I use? Green goodness dressing? Will I use lemon, herb, thyme, ketchup? I'm going to taste them. That one tastes good. This one tastes a bit plain. Some onions aside.
Morks, you got your bowl? Do
Yep.
you have any tofu? Good job. And guess what? Broccoli.
Of course. Made this tiny.
There you
I
go.
mean, like.
Alright, let me make my bowl here. A bit of greens. S for starches. This is also, I would consider, a starch in this meal. Tons of veggies. Add protein. Control fats. I'm just going to use a little bit. And then kick up the flavor. And this has also got like quite a bit of fat in it, which is why I'm not going to be adding much additional fat. Look at this.
Which one's better?
Okay, let's give this a taste test. It deserves it. I definitely want to get some mango in there and some pickles. And of course broccoli, my kid's favourite part. Mmm. 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 It's so good. Alright, and that's how to create the stack framework. So you really just need to use anything that is in your cupboard, anything that is in your fridge. You just need to have those core components. And I also do this in a very simple way where I will just do tofu, broccoli, and potato. Sometimes I will do just like putting a whole lot of things on my plate, like some fruit, some potato, some vegetables, and maybe like a dip that I can use, but I always use this 5-step framework. I have a feeling that at some point I said 4-step because it used to be 4-step, but now it is 5-step. But if you always keep this in mind when you're creating your weight loss bowls, it does make it very easy to stick to. And this genuinely is the exact framework that I used to lose the 40 pounds I still use to this day. And I've been working on creating a full weight loss course that includes this framework and a whole lot of other things, step by step, that is going to help you to master weight loss with my girl Amy, aka Broccoli Mum. So if you're interested in that coming up, it's not released right now, but if you want to be the first one to know about that, then definitely get into the Kickstarter, which is our free course, which will be in my description if you want to know about that. This is going to be an extremely comprehensive course, just showing absolutely everything, and this is one of the frameworks that we use. So I'm going to go enjoy this. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite combination and if you're going to start using component bowls, and I'll see you next week for another video. Yeah, before you go, take a bite.